This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Honoured to be joined by great fighter, world title contender, more esteemed even now as a trainer, Harold Shadow Knight. How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. How you doing, Danny?
I'm very good, thank you. Honoured to speak with you. I spoke to you previously when I was at Boxing News magazine, long time ago now. Most revered in the UK, I guess, for your work with Lennox Lewis,
Right.
legend in his own right, of course. And now you're back to help another British heavyweight in Dillian Whyte. Just tell us how that came about, how you've been added to Team Body Snatcher.
Oh, yes, definitely. I actually got a call from one of Dillian's people to, come aboard and be part of the team. And it's so ironic that I used to watch Dillian all the time because obviously I watch all boxing, I watch all heavyweights, I watch all boxing. And always, when I watch boxing, I always still more or less like when I'm training fighters, I more or less say, what would I tell a fighter that's winning? What do I tell a fighter that's losing? And just so ironically, I got a call from Dillian's people, and hey, I mean, I never thought in a million years I'd be working with Dillian, and once I got the call, I accepted, and because I feel that this guy could be a heavyweight champion.
And when you got the call, how was it kind of pitched to you? What did they want you to come in and do specifically with Dillian? Where did they think you could add greatest value?
I mean, unfortunately, when I watched one of his fights, his last fight, when he got knocked out, I'm saying to myself, I mean, hey, this guy can punch. I always knew he could punch. This guy, number one, he can fight. Number one, and he's a mean guy. He's like a Rottweiler. He like take people's heads off. Exciting fights. He's always in exciting fights. He's like a from an old school fighter. And so when I got the call, one of the things was my assessment was to help him jab, to enhance his jab to balance because, he really, but a lot of times he was off balance. A lot of times he didn't use his jab. I know he's capable of using it, and them were some of the things that. I was more or less brought in to bring. He's already a hard worker. I mean, I've worked obviously with Lennox Lewis. I've worked with DeMonte Barretts. I've worked with Jia the Chinese guy. You can, your lighter weight guy, I think 125 pounder.
Yeah.
I've worked with several guys, the Malik Scotts. And so, I'm a student of the game and I always love, but this is my passion. So, them were some of the things that I was brought in to help him work on. And like I said, he's a blue collar worker. He's one of these guys that we have to slow down from working. He's so dedicated and working, and one of the hardest workers that I've seen and know to be working with. Believe me.
So from the first fight with Alexander Povetkin, which you obviously watched, what did you think Dillian did wrong, if anything? Because he was in command of the fight before the ending.
Yes, definitely he was in command. I believe he was just laying back a little too much than he should have been laying back. He's all, like I said, he's an aggressive type of fighter. He's one of these guys that always take it to the guy. And, I just think that he was laying back a little too much and laying on the ropes a little too much than he should have been against a dangerous guy like Povetkin. Povetkin obviously has a vast, Olympic champion, vast amateur experience. His fight before that was Michael Hunter, and he got a draw. So I just felt that he wasn't aggressive. Povetkin down twice. The second time the bell rang, he wasn't able to jump on him, and the first time he dropped him was not as aggressive like he normally is. Them were some of the things that I seen that.
And how are things working now in the gym out in Portugal with yourself and Xavier Miller, who's Whyte's trainer, of course? How are you splitting the duties?
Oh man, I tell you, Xavier Miller, we call him Zav. The whole camp, Magic, Simon, Al, the whole camp has embraced me, man. They have accepted me and embraced me, and they are not only willing participants, but they are looking to get better. And by bringing me in, a small part of what they've already been doing. And I got to give credit to his former trainer, Mark Tibbs.
Sure.
I've known his daddy, not personally, but I've known his father, Jimmy Tibbs, for long, from the Lennox Lewis days. I give them credit. So, these guys have, which has really, really been good, and they've embraced me and accepted me. It made the transition to be able to do what we got to do, because when you have a strong team behind you and you have everyone doing what they're good at, and you have a good vibe, spirit, and you have good energy, that's so important. One of the things that made Lennox Lewis so good is that I always called it, we were all our own chiefs in our own right, and he brought us all together to form his team. I'm talking about Lennox. And it reminds me of so much of now, that when Dill and the people around him wanted to bring in myself, and it has helped not only them, and it's helped me to be back on this world stage, because this is what I love to do. This is my passion, and to be working with heavyweights, a heavyweight, Dillian Whyte, the body snatching. I love heavyweights, as you know, and I'm just as happy as these guys, man.
Do you see any similarities between Dillian and Lennox Lewis?
The similarities are some of the similarities. These guys are hard workers, man. They're blue collar workers. They're students of the game. They're students of the game. I'm not saying a lot of the fighters now these days are not student of the game, but I know firsthand that Lennox was a student of the game. I know Dillian is a student of the game. And I continue to say these guys work hard, because once you put that work in and you invest that time in the gym, which we'll be on our way back to our second workout in a few minutes, these guys, them similarities in the jab. Billion has a jab like Lennox Lewis behind. Even though they're different, completely different styles. Lennox is more of a chess player, in the ring, and Dillian is more like, in the way he thinks he's a killer, should I say? He's more of a I'm not taking I'm taking everybody what I love, and Dill's a realist too. Guys, as you know, I'm sure you follow him. He speaks his mind.
Very much so, yeah.
It is, whether you look, and he tends to back it up. That's what's important. Povetkin, Whyte too, is so important in so many ways. Us that international title back, the WBC International, as well as has on his road heavyweight championship, because in the past, him being frozen out for 2 years, like I said, I followed, and he can take. He's right there, and he's not going to allow. We're not going to allow us being so close to let it bypass us this time, and take nothing away from Povetkin. He comes to fight. He's a veteran. Tough. We take nothing away from him. We are not underestimating him, and we're bringing the heat, man. We bringing it, bro.
I believe you. You said you see Whyte ultimately becoming a world heavyweight champion. Will you be part of that journey? Is this going to be a long-term partnership?
I hope so. I really hope so. I believe so, because the camaraderie that we have right now, and teamwork we have right now, and respect that we have for each other, like I said, it's really comforting that these guys have all eyes and ears in regards to my experience. So, we need to, without a doubt, get this win, and get it in an emphatic fashion, whether it's decision, whether it's putting Povetkin to sleep. We have to get the win. And with that saying, I believe and feel that, yes, I'll be on that journey with him on to the heavyweight championship, be it Fury, be it Joshua, because as you know, they are obviously in negotiations to do their thing. And I truly believe that Deal will become heavyweight champion, whoever it is. I mean, whoever holds it at that time, because I wouldn't have accepted this position if I didn't feel that.
And before I let you go and work on that second session with Dillian, you mentioned there about Joshua and Fury being in negotiations. You're a heavyweight expert. Who comes out on top in that fight should it take place?
Repeat that one more time.
Joshua and Fury in negotiations, as you mentioned. You're a heavyweight expert. Who comes out on top in that fight if it takes place?
Well, I'm not a heavyweight expert. I just feel I'm a student of the game. I love what I do, and I love this. I do this with passion. And my experience is working with heavyweights. So, saying that, right now, I'm going with Fury at the moment. Right now, I'm going with Fury. Because him being a big man and him able to throw punches from all angles, and him, he's on the road, man. He's on the road. He's really, he has that meanness. He has that. I just feel that he can do a few more things more than Joshua. Not taking anything from Joshua. I give him much respect also. That young man, he's a force to be reckoned with. And as you know, and if you probably don't know, and the fans don't know, Dillian has had some awards entanglements with these guys, whether it was in Spartan with Fury, and obviously his fight with Joshua. And I believe it was early. Well, it was in Dillian's early in his career, as well as it was with Joshua's early in his career. But, being that Dillian only had 8 amateur fights, and then being that Joshua's Olympic champion and everything like that, and being brought along nice and smoothly. And at the moment, I'm going with Fury, because he's not only with Sugar Hill, who's a good friend, and it always seems like me and him go head to head, because just on a side note, I trained Avni Yildirim, who's fighting Canelo when Avni fought Anthony Durrell, and we was winning that fight before it was stopped on a intentional headbutt. That's what they say. And the fight was awarded to Anthony Durrell for that vacant title. And, at that time, Avni was number 3. But in that loss, he moved up to number 1. So, but don't want to get off that subject. But once again, right now, I'm going with Fury.
Great stuff. Harold, I really appreciate your time. I could talk to you for ages, but you're a very busy man. So I'm going to let you get back to business. But hopefully we can catch up again before the fight on March the 6th.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. Anytime you need me to come on your show, we have a long history, go way back. And any way I can help, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask. And looking forward to seeing you soon.
Great stuff. Yeah, I look forward to that too. Take care and give our best to Dillian.
I will. Thank you. Stay blessed.
And you. Thank you.